right, today we're going to be making the slab of clay that we're going to be keeping for our paint palette project. So you're going to wedge that clay by using butterfly hands, push down, roll back, push down, roll back. Do that, I don't know, like maybe close to 10 times. Then it is going to be a rock of clay. And today you have more clay than what you practiced with because we need enough clay to cover our stencil that we drew out. So I have to be able to fit this clay over my paper stencil. So when I flatten it like a pancake, I want to press down with CPR hands, but push the corners to start to shape this to look more like a box to begin with. Then remember that I don't want to press so hard that my clay goes lower than my guide sticks. When I get down low and look at the side of my table, my clay should be higher than my guide sticks before I start rolling. I'm just going to kind of stretch that clay to make it already start to become similar to the shape of my stencil. Now I'm going to take my rolling pin, put my guide sticks next to my clay, and I want to roll from the middle out. And initially I start to stretch the corners first. So I'm going to roll from the middle towards me, but I'm rolling at a diagonal, and I could turn my guide sticks to make a corner. The key is you always have to have guide sticks underneath you while you roll, otherwise your clay is going to get too thin. Then I always want to check that it's getting close to covering my drawing. So my clay does cover my drawing, but it's not uniform thickness yet because it's not the height of my guide stick. So I can now just stretch this clay in any direction because I know it's already going to cover my drawing. So when I think I've reached uniform thickness, I want to push as hard as I can. If the clay doesn't stretch anymore, then I am finished. Now, you notice I slid my rulers down because if I'm rolling the bottom edge of the clay, I still have to have rulers underneath my guide stick. So you can move those rulers however you need to get your flat slab. Okay, then I'm going to use gentle hand pressure to try and wipe away any air bubbles. You'll see them under the surface of your clay if you have any, which there was a teeny tiny little one right there. Okay, now I am ready to use my drawing as a stencil. I'm going to take a Crayola marker and I'm going to outline the outside edge of my drawing. Crayola is not permanent, so I can get a print from my Crayola marker. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline the shapes that I had drawn in that were going to become my paint wells. And remember that I have to have gaps between my paint wells. So I have to have little bits of white space between those wells because that gap is going to be raised up clay. And it's okay if you change your design as you're working with this, as long as you still end up with a theme and at least 6 spots for paint to go, then that's okay if your design ends up changing slightly from your rough draft drawing. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my slab of clay and I'm going to press it into my drawing. And I'm going to give it a little bit of a paper massage. Now, I didn't press so hard that I squished the clay. I just pressed hard enough to get the paper to stick. And then I can flip this over and give it a nice paper massage. And now as I hold the paper still and peel it back, I'm going to see a marker print. And I want to check to see that that marker design printed correctly. I'm going to save this. Do not throw your stencil away because if you make a mistake and you have to remake it, you can just keep that paper stencil to use again. Okay, now I'm going to take my fettling knife and I'm going to stand it up tall and I'm going to cut on the outside edge of the shape of my paint palette. Sometimes I like to just cut away the big sides just to get that out of the space. I can pick it up and turn it if it's easier to cut pulling the knife towards me, which it is easier that way. So I'm pulling forward towards me. So I'm going to turn this again so that I'm still kind of pulling forward towards me. If you accidentally cut through your project, you want to squish it up and re-roll it to make a flat slab. Now, this marker is not permanent. That is going to evaporate and it will disappear. It will not be on your final project, so do not worry about the marker. Then you're just going to leave your scraps of clay off to the side. So your goal is to try to get your slab rolled out by the end of class today. Then let me explain what we're going to do with these slabs at cleanup time. Okay, at cleanup time, you each are going to get a board and a damp rag. You're going to lay that rag completely flat and open, and then you're going to set that on your desk. Now, I'm going to put my clay piece on top of my fabric, and then I'm going to take my extra fabric and fold it over my clay. So now I have wet rag under my clay and over my clay, and it needs to fit on that board. The reason we use a board is it helps keep your clay flat, and I can just pick up the board to move it without touching the clay and putting fingerprints on it. Do not get your rags any wetter than they are. I will tell you if your rag is too dry, and I will switch it out for you if that is the case. Then, at cleanup time, you are going to pick up that rag, and you're going to push it all the way to the bottom of your plastic bag. When it's in the bottom of the bag, you're just going to push the extra air out of the bag, and that's going to go underneath your board. We're not going to tie a knot in the bag because when we untie knots, we rip holes in the bag. Then you are going to follow the blue arrows back to your assigned cabinet and find your name tag on your shelf. You also need to take your drawing with you. Your drawing is going to go on your shelf first, and then your bag is going to go on top of it, and it should be right where your name tag is. Then follow the blue arrows back around to your assigned table. You're going to start cleaning off these rolling pins. Remember, you can scrape dry clay off with any of the tools to begin with, and then I will give you those red rags to finish wiping the rolling pins completely clean. Now, your extra clay that you cut away, you need to flatten that like a pancake. We do not use rolling pins to flatten because it's just going to make them dirtier. You use your CPR hands and you squish it flat like a pancake. Clay that is flat turns softer faster overnight in my bucket, and I can fit more clay in my bucket if it is flat. You each have your own piece of clay. Do not combine your scraps with other students and make one big massive piece of clay. Then I will collect your clay. I will check that your tools are clean and in your bucket, and then I will dismiss you to wash hands.